Jonathan, stop laughing at me. Look, ladies and gentlemen, there is no truth whatsoever to these bogus rumors that I jumped on a basketball court in Philadelphia last night and stopped the fight between Eric Bledsoe and Joel Embiid. That was not me. Okay? It was not me. I was on the other side of the arena. First of all, I'm a little lighter in weight. I must admit, the head is about that size and so is the hairline. So I can understand the plausible mistake. But we live in an age of technology where you can zoom in and zoom out. Zoom in, as my man Kevin Hart would say, and zoom out. You could see that that's not me. I'm not jumping into the middle of this pit bull that is Eric Bledsoe, along with the 7'1" Joel Embiid. I'm not jumping in the middle of that. I did not at all run onto the court and stop a fight between Bledsoe and Embiid. It was not me. I cannot believe that this stuff has gone viral. I cannot believe that people have been talking about it all over social media. I cannot believe that I got bosses sitting up there wanting to call me into their office because they thought it was me jumping onto the court instead of leaving such responsibilities to the great NBA security members that the National Basketball Association has. It was not me. I was in the arena in the back. I was in the media room drinking some lemonade, and then after that I came out and saw Allen Iverson. And if you don't believe that, check social media because he put a picture of him and I hugging on the damn social media. Okay? It was not me. I did no such thing. But I got to tell you, damn, from a distance, it did look like me. I have to admit.
Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and you can always get in touch with the show through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed.
My screen put up here so I can see these phone calls. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. The Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics, taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. So make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today. Number to call up as always is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Waiting for my calls to show up on the screen. Before I do that, they are not up. They're not up on the screen. But before I do any of that, let me go back to this case involving lawyer Michael Avenatti. If y'all recall, he is the lawyer that's known for representing Stormy Daniels, the porn star who allegedly was involved with Donald Trump before he was president of the United States. Avenatti gained widespread notoriety in the past year for representing her in lawsuits against the president and his former lawyer, Michael Cohen. That's where he gained a lot of his notoriety from. He was charged in New York last month for trying to extort millions of dollars from Nike by threatening to take his allegations public. Here's what I think that the part about Michael Avenatti that's kind of funny because he don't realize it. He's facing extortion charges, and he upped the ante in this feud with Nike over the weekend, dumping 41 pages of documents, which he claims are evidence showing the retailer bribed players to attend Nike colleges. So you have evidence. So basically, I mean, it seems more plausible since you're throwing them out there in public. Now that, you know, you're facing extortion charges, it seems more obvious that that's exactly what you were trying to do against Nike. It serves to incriminate him further, if y'all understand what I'm saying. If you're dumping the pages for public consumption to show that you had evidence about Nike doling out dollars and bribes to folks and lying to the government about it for years, as Michael Avenatti said, if that's what you're saying now publicly, then what's the chances are you said it to them privately and wanted to get some money for them out of it, which it would be extortion. That's exactly what extortion would be last time I checked. If there's a different definition for it, please feel free to educate me, you law students or lawyers out there. That's my definition of extortion. Somebody has committed a crime. Rather than reporting it to the authorities, what you decide to do is reach out to them yourself and threaten to take the information, either public or to proper law enforcement officials, unless they pay you off. Last time I checked, I think that's the epitome of extortion. So I'm at a loss as to how revealing such a thing he perceives as something that would help him. But he also made allegations against Duke University's Zion Williamson, and according to reports, basically saying that a family member was getting paid. I'm very Avenatti, to be specific, made allegations claiming Zion Williamson's mother, Sharonda Sampson, received payments from Nike during her son's recruitment when he was attending high school in South Carolina. Williamson plays for the Duke Blue Devils. Duke's director of athletics, Kevin White, said in a statement that the university is looking into the allegations regarding Williamson and his mother. Quote, "We are aware of the allegation and, as we would with any compliance matter, are looking into it. Duke is fully committed to compliance with all NCAA rules and regulations. Every student athlete at Duke is reviewed to ensure their eligibility. With regard to men's basketball, all recruits and their families are thoroughly vetted by Duke in collaboration with the NCAA through the Eligibility Center's amateurism certification process." That's what they said. Here's what Nike said. Nike will not respond to the allegations of an individual facing federal charges of fraud and extortion and aid in his disgraceful attempts to distract from the athletes on the court at the height of the tournament. Nike will continue its cooperation with the government's investigation into grassroots basketball and a related extortion case. Ladies and gentlemen, worst kept secret in the world is that athletes are taken care of on a collegiate level. Elite athletes. Why? Because everybody knows that the NCAA, being the flagrant hypocrites that they are, doing very, very little to nothing to take care of marquee revenue-generating athletes, keeping so much of the money for themselves. Everyone knows that you find a way to take care of these guys. How they, I don't know what rules, if any, specifically were broken or whatever, but this is not a secret. So let's just get our head out of the sand and just deal with that for what it is, please. 888-SAY-ESPN. That is the number to call up. Let's go to Jason. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Jason?
Hi, Stephen. I'm just calling you today to, number one, hope you're having a good day, and I really enjoy your comment about, how Kyle Guy made those free throws. And I'll agree with you and elaborate because what I'm saying here is I'm practically blind. I can't see. And so, I listened on the radio to that clip, and I think I listened to it when it was live. And, it was just one of those things where when you can't see, you hear the crowd, you hear them roaring, and you hear the swish every time he made it. And it's like, I know it's got to be a lot of pressure he's under to do that because obviously the opposing crowd is they're going to do what they can to get him off his game, and he didn't let that happen. So, and even the timeout after the second free throw, ice cold. He's still ice cold in there. And so, it's one of those things that I can't imagine, going through something like that to make it to a title game. And at worst, at best, if you miss one, you're going to overtime pretty much. So I just want to say thanks for making the comment so audible and so understandable by hearing. And that's actually something all of you guys at the ESPN radio, from commentators to all that other stuff, that's something you're all doing really well, and I encourage you to keep it up.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the call. Thank you. Very, very kind words on your part. Appreciate it. Leo, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Hello, am I on?
Yes, you are. You're on live, Leo. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you what you think about the one and done rule with the NCAA.
I think it stinks. I think it stinks.
Well, you think the one and done rule stinks?
Yes, I do. I don't like it. Here's what I believe. I believe a player, and see, here's the problem with your question, Leo. You're asking me about just the NCAA when I think it involves both the NCAA and the NBA. I believe that any athlete should be allowed to come directly out of high school to the pros. But I also believe that if you come to college, you should have to commit 2 years. Either commit 2 years or don't come at all. In football, they got to commit 3. You can't go to the NFL after a year or 2 in college. If I remember correctly, you gotta serve at least 2 years, 3 years. You can't play 1 year and then be eligible for the NFL draft. Can't do it. It's a man's game, and I understand that. But what I'm saying to you is, it's college basketball, and it's big time money, big time programs. I don't believe don't come at all, or come and commit 2 years. That's my belief.
Well, personally, I think that without the one and done rule, Zion Williamson probably would have been destroyed in the NBA. I think that he needed that year to get his skills better.
Well, he needed that year to get his skills better, and he needed that year to be the number 1 overall pick. But I still believe he definitely would have been a top 10 pick, and I don't believe he would have gotten destroyed. You know why? Because I think that he has skills comparable to some cats on the NBA. And you know what they don't have that he has, Leo?
What?
280 pounds.
That's true. He's a good guy.
With a 45-inch vertical leap. Somebody like John Moran and others might have needed that time because of their slight frame. 280-plus pounds with a 45-inch vertical leap, and you can play, you don't need that. You'll be fine.
Yes, but I think personally that without that one and done rule, I think Zion Williamson would have been as big of a bust as Sam Bowie was back then.
Well, I'm telling you, you're wrong. That's the most ignorant statement. How old are you, Leo? Now, how old are you? Before I jump on you, how old are you? Because you sound young and ignorant. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Oh, I forgive you. Don't worry about it. You're a young whippersnapper. You don't know any better. First of all, what the hell are you doing bringing up Sam Bowie? And that happened before you were even born.
Yeah, well, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan myself.
Look, Leo. Sam Bowie being a bust. Sam Bowie was drafted in '84, number 2 overall, right before Michael Jordan. And you're 19. This happened 15 years before your birth. And you're speaking intelligently about that? Stop it, Leo. Your dad told you that, didn't he? Did your dad or your grandpa? Somebody told you that, didn't they? Did they tell you that? Tell the truth.
It was my father. My father's an
All
older
right, that's
fan.
no problem. Listen, it's not an insult, Leo. You consider yourself a member of the family, brother. You can call back anytime. I'm just saying you're young. You're young, and you know what? I forgive you because you're listening to your dad. And you should listen to your daddy. You should listen to your daddy. So I don't mind that at all. That's okay, Leo. But I'm just telling you, no way on earth Zion Williamson would have been a bigger bust than Sam Bowie. You can't get that bad. I got to run. I appreciate the call. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. This is Stephen A. Live over the airways of ESPN Radio and ESPN News. By the way, if you missed any of my opening segment, go check it out on demand in the Stephen A. Smith podcast, brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment, 2% at grocery stores, and 1% on all other purchases. Hey! What's in your wallet? The Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by Barbasol. Hey, sports fans. Barbasol is offering you a chance to score big when you join the Barbasol Shave Club. Grab your premium starter kit for just $1.99 today with code SHAVE